Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is B.fleye Beauty, and today we're going to go over my 3 favorite tinted SPFs. I have been on the hunt. I'm sure I will be adding to this list because Lord, do I know myself and how addicted I am to this. I do not wear traditional foundation. I probably wear traditional foundation 10 times a year, and if you want me to do a video on my favorites of those, please let me know. I really hate the feeling of foundation, and I think a lot of people do, but we have to protect our skin, and so wearing SPF is imperative, and you can kind of get a little of both. Now, if you're somebody who needs a lot of extra moisture, or you want to double up on SPF, that's totally fine. You could wear an SPF moisturizer underneath these and then use this as your foundation. You can use it as an all-in-one. It just depends on the day for me. And these 3 have different levels of coverage and glow. So that should help a little bit too. To put this into a little bit of perspective, to give you a little bit of color, I just turned 44 this year, so I have some aging skin. I've talked about my skin really changing lately, where I'm getting the sebaceous filament thingies, where it looks like and feels like a zit, but like nothing comes out of it. Oh my gosh, I feel like my glasses are so dirty. And so my skin has changed quite a bit, but one thing it hasn't stopped doing is being oily. So I am 44, I have aging skin, I have very oily skin, and I am still acne prone. Thankfully, I don't get a ton of like big pimples anymore, but even if I was to get acne, I would still do this routine, and then I just use concealer to conceal those spots. On days when I don't want to do any sort of tint, I will use, this is my favorite right now, my favorite SPF, but it is not tinted, and it is from Trader Joe's. It's the Daily Facial Sunscreen SPF 40, oil-free makeup. Here I am trying to be an influencer. Makeup sits beautifully on this, on my skin in particular, and makeup sits really nicely on these other tinted SPFs. But on days that I really want less coverage, I use this and a little bit of concealer. Today I used the glowy one, and we will start with that one. So let's start with my favorite right now. This is number 1 for me right now because it barely has any coverage, but it gives a glow. So I tried the Wow or Whoa Glow by e.l.f. and it is so shiny. It is just way too shiny for me. I literally look like a disco ball, and then I think that would look really beautiful if you put foundation on top, but I'm not putting foundation on top. So it just didn't work for my skin and my daily routine, but I know people really, really love that. To me, this is a toned down version of that. This is the Sunbum Glow Sunscreen, or Glow 30, moisturizing sunscreen, face lotion, broad spectrum, SPF 30, water resistant for 80 minutes, dewy, radiant glow, non-comedogenic. That's not the word. Ooh, I am a good talker. And it is fragrance free. So this one is avobenzone 3%, octasolate 5%, octacrylene 10%. Helps prevent sunburn, use as directed, blah, 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 blah. This is my 3rd one I've purchased. So let's look at what this actually looks like when you pour it out. It is the most liquidy of the 3. So you can actually hear it. It is the lightest of the 3, and so let's do a little, see how quickly that comes out, and I'll put this on my neck and my hands, so you can see that it kind of drips down. It's definitely not super thick. Try to blend that in a little bit. I don't think this would work for darker skin tones. I think light to medium would be the darkest, and then if you have medium to dark, you would have to put like a foundation on top probably. But I don't know. If you are a darker skin tone, let me know how this works. So I love this because it looks really beautiful on the chest as well, because I hope we are all putting sunscreen on our chest and our ears and everything. I know it's really tedious, but even if you work in your house. Like I put on SPF even when I'm working from home. Today is a Monday. It's usually my get crap done at the house day, finish up projects, finish up things that I didn't finish over the weekend for work. But I work from home and I still put on SPF, and so should you. So it just gives this like gorgeous glow, but it's not shimmery or glittery or metallic. I feel like the e.l.f. one was very metallic. All of these are 20 bucks and under, I believe, but I will put the current price on these. Like, you can get this at Walgreens, you can get this at Walmart, you can get this at Ulta, and I'm sure they're gonna be different price points everywhere. Walmart usually has the cheapest price, but I do like to buy things at Ulta because I like to get my points. So you choose where you wanna get it, but I absolutely love this. And my concealer, my blush, so what I have on right now is I have this little bit of concealer. I powder under the eye to set my concealer. I put concealer under my eye, around my nose, and around my mouth. And then I powder everything around the eye and a little bit where I put the concealer. And then I did bronzer, blush, sprayed the face, and then I did mascara. That's it. So that's my regular daily routine. And this is been my favorite this year so far for spring and summer because I'm loving the glowy look. As I've talked about before, I've started to just embrace what my skin is. So I need to put it up because it is hot in here. I've just started embracing that I am oily. Like, in the summer, I am not trying to be flat matte because there's no way without caking up and without touching up 24/7 am I even gonna get to that. So I just embrace the oil. I go ahead and go really glowy, and then I might touch up like maybe around here a little bit as the day goes on. But even then, like if I put powder on that on a gooey summer day, like it just does not look very good at the end. So anyway, I'm loving that one. That's my number one. And we're gonna go up in coverage and down in favorite. They're all three my favorites, but this has been my favorite so far. Okay, the second one is one that I've probably bought 10 of. I am literally, this is not gonna be pretty, you guys. This is not gonna be pretty. Look at it. Look at how disgusting it is. Because I squeeze the crap out of this stuff. I cut the top and I dig my finger in there and I use it. Like, I am not here. Hello, hello, hello. Let's turn on a light. I am not here to just like buy something when we're half done. Like, we're going all the way May, you know what I mean? So this is the Cerave Hydrating Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Face Sheer Tint. Blends seamlessly into skin with a lightweight, non-greasy feel, suitable for sensitive skin. 3 essential ceramides and niacinamide mineral sunscreen. So what I like about Cerave is they put the ceramides in everything. It's very good for all skin types, especially as you are aging. This is a light coverage, more than the Sunbum. Did I even say that that was Sunbum? The Sunbum one. This is the old packaging, by the way. I used up my new packaging one, and then I bought 3 of the old packaging off Amazon because there is a difference. The new one, they took one ingredient out, but it's not so different that it doesn't feel pretty similar. I can tell the difference the tiniest bit, but if you're new to this, it will not be in this packaging. It'll be in a creamy packaging with a brown fake wood top. And if I remember, I'll put a picture up here, but it will feel, if you've never used it, you're not gonna feel a difference, and it's still lovely. So still highly recommend, still my favorite. This one I loved before the Sunbum, the Cerave. But this is a lighter coverage than a foundation. Obviously, it's a very light skin tint, but you're gonna get more coverage than the Sunbum. The Sunbum barely has any tint and any coverage at all, but this one has a little bit. So let's see if I can squeeze some of this out because we are getting to the end here. We might have to literally cut the top. Where are my scissors? No, where'd my scissors go? Okay. You get to see it in action. Okay, so you can see in here that this is not as liquidy as the Sunbum. It's got a very neutral color to it, so it's not like an orangey base, if that makes sense. But you can tell that it has way more of a foundation feel and look. It is not a flat matte, but it has no glow to it. But you can see that the other one was so liquidy compared to this, but this actually has like quite a bit of coverage comparatively. And you'll see a tiny bit of glow because it's moisturizing. And I also have the other one underneath. But like if we look on, we can just look here. I don't have any glow there, but there is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of glow because of the moisture. So on days when I want something that's maybe not super glowy like the Sunbum and I want a little bit of coverage, this is what I use. And a little goes a long way because it's a lot thicker and it's gonna feel greasy at first, but it does dry down. It doesn't dry down completely, but it does dry down to the point where like it doesn't feel gross and gooey on your skin. It just feels moisturizing. Like all of these, I would, again, I'm an oily person. So if they're moisturizing for me, well, let me say this. I think these would work on oily or dry skin. You just might get more of a matte look with the Cerave than I would as an oily person, if that makes sense. But this is a spectacular product. I'm sad I had to cut it today, but because there's still a lot in there, so I'm gonna have to like somehow gooey that back up. But that's my number 2. For now. It's my number 1 non-glowy one. And it's just a spectacular product. It really blends into the skin. It's very easy to put makeup on top of, and I think it'll work all the way up to a medium skin tone. The last one I want to talk about is third in place for favorite and the most coverage so far. I'm gonna go wash my hands off though so that we can see the difference between all 3 of these and get a good coverage without anything underneath. So that number 3 one is the Eucerine Tinted Sensitive Skin Sunscreen. Hopefully this will, come on baby. Why isn't it folding? There we go. Gotta put that influencer hand up there. Okay. Eucerine Tinted Sensitive Mineral Zinc Oxide Protection. Tinted Sunscreen Lotion for Face, 35 Broad Spectrum, SPF 35, blendable tint for all skin tones, developed with dermatologists. So it does have the darker skin tone on here. I am not sure because I am not a person of color, so I cannot speak to if that works for you. I would hope if they put that on there it would, but like, you know, a lot of times it doesn't. Okay, zinc oxide 24%. This is the most coverage. I would say this is light to medium in my opinion, but we are also in this time and place of beauty that started in 2015 where full coverage in my mind is not full coverage from a beauty guru of 2015. Before that big boom of the 2015 beauty YouTuber, influencer, icon, full coverage meant something different than it does now. Now it's like a clown face coverage, like stage coverage, and full coverage before that was probably what medium to full is now. So take that into consideration when I describe these products. When I say light on this Sunbum, I mean barely any tint. When I say light coverage to medium coverage, this is like, you're gonna get coverage. Are you gonna be able to cover a big O zit? You're gonna need some concealer. This to me will cover some zits, but I don't know that it's full coverage. So, you know, everybody has their different definition of it. I have a traditional makeup artist view and not a beauty influencer view. So again, take it into consideration, take that into perspective. This is also a very neutral tone, which I appreciate. If they are going to market to all skin types and all skin tones, then it does need to be a more neutral skin tone color. So comes in a little pump. It is also thick like the Cerave one. I don't know if you can even see that. Let's blend that in. This feels very similar thickness, but just has a little bit more coverage in my opinion than the Cerave, but it might be comparable to you. I think it just depends on your skin tone, on what coverage looks like and how you do your makeup. So this also has a tiny bit of a glow, but it's because of the moisture. There is no shimmer to this whatsoever. This to me has a little bit more warmth in it than the Cerave, so we will do a comparison. we definitely, if you don't already do it, make sure you're SPF-ing, putting sunscreen on your hands and your chest and all of that. And it gives your skin a little, you know, a little boost when you're like me and you got some sunspots in there and stuff. So really pretty. So let's do a comparison of all of these. This one's a little harder because it's very liquidy. I was wrong. The Cerave is more warm. All right. So we have, let me just put my glasses on now. Lord Jesus. Okay. All right. We have this liquidy one. That's Sunbum. Next to it, we have the Cerave, which I was wrong, is the more warm, and then the Eucerine one below. That is actually the most neutral out of all of them. Sunbum is the liquidy one. The one to the right of the liquidy is the Cerave, which definitely has a little bit more warmth. And then the Eucerine one is the middle bottom. So those are my top three. I think it just makes every day in the spring and summer just super easy. And then if you want to go to the pool or the beach and look cute and put together, it gives you a little bit of coverage, gives you a little bit of confidence, but you have your sunscreen on and it just makes your day easier. So those are my three favorite SPF skin tints. Let me know if you have a favorite. I really want to try Naked Sundays next. I just gotta wait and get paid. Also, my nails are coming off, guys, like big time. So I don't know what happened. That's never happened to me before. But anyway, let me know if you have a favorite. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.